X here, 375 H&H Mag here, and just a video on. Guess there's been a shooting in Lafayette movie theater, and it's another gun-free zone. And I will post a link below of the article, and let me read off to you what the actual article says. The Grand Theater, you go to its policies, conduct policy. The Grand Theaters are private property. If you fail or refuse to follow this code of conduct, you will be asked to leave the theater and may be banned from all the Grand Theaters. If you fail or refuse to leave when requested to do so, you will be arrested and prosecuted for criminal trespassing. Our theater prohibits outside food or drink. Of course, they want you to buy their overly priced candy, crap food, and drink. Smoking, including e-cigarettes, possession of firearms or weapons of any kind, regardless of whether openly or concealed, with or without a permit. Yeah, looks like they ran that typo there. Looks like they ran or and concealed as one word. Disruptive or disorderly conduct, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, and the conduct policy also forbids violence, intimidation, and physically threatening behavior, as well as unlawful conduct. Well, here's the number one problem, and this is the only problem. One, it's a gun-free zone. So these places that are just being attacked randomly, which is just the recruiting centers for our armed forces and other areas that are gun-free zones. I live in communist California, and I'm looking to change that soon. I'm just tired of the state that I'm in. Looking at other places. So, anyway, that's the problem. It's a gun-free zone. And you got Obama that's probably staged this. It's probably a false flag. I don't know. It's just, I think, for you law-abiding people who actually do have CCWs, concealed carry weapon permits, and you abide by these policies, you're making yourself a target. You know what I say to that? I say, screw their policy. How the heck are they going to know if you're carrying concealed or not? They run you through a metal detector? If so, then don't go to that theater. Don't let yourself become a victim. Don't become a victim. If you have a concealed carry permit, carry it all the time, man. Man, woman, whatever. Carry it all the time. Screw these company policies. They're going to get you killed. And that's part of the problem, is we've been conditioned to obey these non-common sense policies. The Aurora shooter, he went to a gun-free zone. The church that was recently shot up in the Carolinas was a gun-free zone. What is wrong with you people? Ignore these policies. Who's going to know if you're carrying or not? Obviously, you go through a CCW class and they say don't advertise your carrying or anything like that, but who's going to know? Let's say a shooter shows up to a theater, you're carrying, he starts shooting, and you start shooting back. What's the company going to do? You broke one of the company policies. So what? Big freaking deal. They're going to say, oh, you broke our policy, you're no longer allowed to go to any of our movie theaters. Okay, fine, but I'm alive and I just saved a bunch of people's lives. I don't really care at that particular point. Done my good deed. Or I've kept the carnage down to a minimum. When these shooters start having people shoot back at them, big story change. Story changes big time for them. That won't be covered in the mainstream media. I never will. So, sorry for kind of bouncing all over the place in this video. Rough morning. Coffee. But I know if I was able to get a CCW And I'd be carrying everywhere I go, just because this stuff is going on, especially with this current administration we have, which is doing nothing but trying to divide people. I mean, you go onto some of these sites now and some of these Twitter saying that ban white males from owning guns, but everybody else can have guns. You know, that's another thing. It's like, what don't these people get? I have a God-given right to defend myself. And that means defend myself with a baseball bat, Mr. Louisville Slugger, Grand Slam. Defend myself with one of these. Defend myself with a knife. Obviously, preferably a bigger knife, but this will do too. Or defend myself with fists. Or defend myself with one of these. So, you have the right and you have the responsibility to defend yourself and the ones that you're with. As for these company policies, you know, I would not go to one of them or give them my business if they have one of these signs up that says gun-free zone, weapon-free zone. Like I said, rough morning, but do you carry a concealed weapon, guys? Screw these policies. Yeah, you break the company policy, what are they going to do? Sue you? Whatever. I'd rather be alive and get sued and tie their asses up in court or get banned from a theater for the rest of my life than be dead. Or see my family members dead. And have that guilt knowing that, hey, I was able to carry. All I had to do was just ignore their stupid policy. And that's what I'm just getting at with this whole entire video here. Ignore the stupid policies. Period. How are they going to know if you're carrying inside the waistband or not and you got a shirt over it? They're not going to know unless they got a metal detector. Then if that's the case, then hell, don't even bother going to the theater. Go to a different one. Support the businesses that are pro-Second Amendment and pro-self-defense, and don't give your money or business to the businesses that infringe upon your rights. I guess that's the whole entire thing there. Support the ones that support your rights, or I should say don't infringe your rights, and boycott the ones that do infringe your rights. So, short video, XCR signing off.